Ready or not, here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Prepare to be caught. Here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Riding home, up playground. No one dares to make a sound. Round and round and round and round. No one wants to be first found.
Nine.
Well, good morning, everybody. This came across the desk this morning, and I just think that they can each thank each other, you know. Wazoo can thank U of I, and U of I can thank Wazoo, because they did it to each other, in my opinion. I added this as an afterthought, or as a moment where I was thinking about the school and about the, you know, the people that graduate from there and what they become and all that kind of stuff. And it got me thinking about a certain creator out there that graduated. It's a Wazoo student, a graduate student. And this person is causing a lot of, you know, issues up in this true crime community. And she thinks she's right. She'll never not think she's right. But she's got a bully mentality. And I wonder if this is what she learned from being in a sorority. Because she's gathering content from other creators and she's turning it around and telling her narrative, and her narrative is the way it should be. It's the way it is. You know, she knows what's right. Well, we're all entitled to our opinions. And she doesn't run the show. She acts like she does. And, you know, this is exactly what I'm saying about there needs to be a firm hand to take care of these things and not teach these things in this school. Because look, this is still happening as an adult. They're still doing it. And it's vicious. And it's sad. You know? It's really sad. Because I feel sorry for her. Not so sorry that I'm not going to call this out. I'm not going to say who it is. You all know who it is. We all know who I'm talking about. And I said I would never give her any of this attention, but I'm only doing this today because of this, and I won't from here on out. Because giving this person attention just keeps her going. Because that's what she enjoys. She likes it. She gets energy from it. And actually, the negative energy, she probably gets more, or the negative reception, like, you know, like this is going to be, she's going to just really grab a hold of this and just, oof, it's going to feed her for a good week. And that's sad right there, all on its own. So please do not give her the time of day. Let her go on with her stuff that she's doing and cause other people, you know, to have, you know, messed up days if that's what happens. I suggest you don't do that. I suggest you just take it with a grain of salt. And eventually she will go away because she will have to get supply, and she will have to get supply somewhere else if she can't get it in this community. This is just some advice from someone who knows about this, because I grew up with this kind of stuff, and I learned late in life that this is what these people are like. And they're energy vampires is what they are. So anyway, I just hope, you know, just lashing out and saying things to her, about her, whatever, is just feeding her. And you know what? They say, don't feed the animals, especially the cougars. Love you guys. Have a great day. And you know who I'm talking about? You have a good day too. Hopefully you come out on a positive side today and find some of your own content. That'd be a great thing for you to do. Okay? Thanks, everyone. By keeping their mouths shut and not doing what they're supposed to, as an adult, as a leader, as a teacher, as a parent, as a brother, as a sister, all of the above. Mom, a dad, uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa. This alumni, this tradition, you like to call it, is getting the best of you, isn't it? Pullman enrollment declines continue reaching lowest level since mid-90s. And a good handful of those aren't just, not enrollments, but deaths. Due to them allowing this kind of vulgar aggression and just manipulative, just yuck. It's just yuck. And there's no place for it. There's no reason for it. There's no rhyme or reason for it. I haven't used that term in a long time, but it is very true. While you think you're creating tough guys and women who will bow down to their man or do whatever, I don't know even what you even look at that one for, or how you even go about figuring that one out, but you are also creating weak people because you're breaking them down, people that can't, it's too much. And sometimes they don't even last. They break down so far that they cannot get back up. You break their knees, and you break their knees, and you break their knees, and no longer can they stand. And the ones that you do have standing that you call strong are bullies. They're corrupt. They're a lot of times woman haters, sometimes man haters. They do very nefarious, ugly things. Not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of the time. But this is the mentality they get because you allow them to get away with this type of stuff. Belittling, humiliating, the hazing. It's just got to stop. It's got to stop. Look what's going on. No good has come of this. And this, yes, definitely has to do with the horrible, horrible day in November that took 4 lives and more. It took more than 4 lives. There's people who never will crawl back out into the light ever again. Due to maybe what they saw, what they had to do, were forced to do, did because that would make them a brother or a sister. Or parents, it's what you do. Your grandpa did it, his grandpa did it, his dad did it, his dad's dad, so on down the line. So must you. Please, can we have the next generation to stand on their own 2 feet and have their own thoughts and be human. Be human. Just be human. A good human. Please. Because I don't want to see these schools crumble. There's good that's come out of them. Of course there's good that's come out of them. Of course. More good than bad, I'm certain. But sometimes the bad starts to outweigh the good. And there's a certain color in that color crayon box that needs to step up or step the fuck down. In my humble opinion. I just put out a video on Kelly. And from what I can see, prior to November, Kelly she was a little dark. She was getting there. But I don't think it was the rugs. I think it was alcohol. And there might have been a little bit of the other stuff, but I don't think that is what took her down. I think she saw something. I think she was put in the middle of something or something. Something, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. But I feel it in my gut. Because she went down fast. And I don't know if she went down trying to protect her son, to get her son away from that area. It could very well be that's what was going on in her head. And if that's the case, can you blame her? Mom, Dad, out there? You know, the ones with the hearts? The ones that still sing lullabies to their kids? And smell the top of their head when they're sitting in your lap. I think she was over there trying to get her kid. And her kid was I don't know exactly where he was, but I hope he's somewhere safe. I pray he's somewhere safe. I think she went a little wackadoodle trying to do what she needed to do. And I don't know what that is, but I just feel like that's what it is. Protecting something. Which got her caught up in a vicious cycle. And she couldn't get her way out. She couldn't find her way out. And quite frankly, from the sounds of the police reports and from the calls that she made, if you haven't watched Lana's video, I suggest you go watch it. Sorry. And it's something I've been wondering all along. Like, there's a police report in there that talks about this girl calling in, saying that she thinks a Moscow police officer put like a tag on her car, like to monitor, to like to follow her, to know where she's at. You know, like the Apple tags and stuff. And it happens to be Kelly Farley, who I've been looking into for months. And then the Linda Lane thing, and then it dawned on me at the Linda Lane thing that they could be saying Farley and they're not Charlie, or not Harley, or not any of those. It might not even be that. It might not be any of the above. But she was there in that area, somewhere in that time zone, a lot. So was Leonard's daughter. And I believe Leonard was as well. As well as a handful, 2 handfuls, 3 handfuls, 4 handfuls of others. This wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. This was a mass amount of people that knew what was going on. And I'm not saying they all participated, but they all, if you think about it, did in their minds participate. They might not all have gotten their hands dirty, but in a way they did. Because even getting someone there to a point where there's no return, then that's getting your hands dirty. A thought that goes that far, it's getting your hands dirty. And that area is dirty. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but after that happened, there was all sorts of arrests and things that happened and it had to do with distribution and watching and all that kind of thing of children material. Yeah, I truly believe Kaylee stumbled upon something. And they probably all did. All of them. Because all you have to do is look at the pictures and look at the mentality of these kids after this happened. They were partying the next day in that same area. Police report after police report after police report. Loud music, stomping, partying, yelling, bottles. Well, part of that, you know what it was? Part of it was probably some type of anger pent up with them that they didn't know what to do with. Because they're really kind of still kids. They're not fully, in their... I don't think females are till age 25 and men of 30. I mean, it takes a while to get there. You can't expect them to be just solid adults thinking wise or anything in college. And then you put this kind of stuff on them. And what do you think you're going to get? You're going to get a wild pack of animals is what you're going to get. And that's exactly what you got. A couple wild packs of animals. And guess what? You bred them. You allowed it to happen. And when it happened, you didn't do nothing about it. You swept it under a rug. You called it something different than it was. And you showed them that it was okay to do this because you're still doing it. As an adult. Well, at least I can see that Pullman is actually telling the truth about declining, students. I don't think U of I will ever tell that truth. When I think of good old boys and that, that type of mentality in society, it makes me think of this guy I dated, and I didn't date him very long either. It took me a while to figure it out because I was groomed, by a narcissist all my life, so basically I'm drawn to them. Unfortunately, I am drawn to them and thinking that they're a good person. And I see something totally different than what other people see. The other people see it. I don't see it until I'm in it. And then I see it and then it's too late. And this is exactly, this one was, like, this one could never say, like, he would pick a fight just to pick a fight. And it would be so, I'm not a fighter. And so it would take all it took. It would just take me down. And sometimes it was 3 days worth of it. And I didn't even know what the fight was about. I had no idea. And it came to the point where I was so exhausted that I would apologize for something I didn't even know I was apologizing for. And then he'd act like this little kid, hugging and feeling bad and all this kind of stuff. And then things would be good for a while. And then he'd have to do it. It would happen all over again. And I wouldn't even, like I said, I didn't even know what it was. Because I'm not a fighter. Never have been. And that's what this reminds me of with the U of I, is that they have gotten this so deep, they have taken this so far for so long that they are him. That they can't stand up and be a human being, an adult, a just... And they're afraid of a tail between their legs is what they're afraid of. And nobody should be afraid of that. That's how people grow. That's how children learn. That's how adults should still learn. Humility. You know? You're not always right. In fact, a lot of the times you're not right. And that's okay. That's okay. But not admitting it when you're not right, that's not okay. And pushing the blame onto others when you're not right, that's not okay. Bullying people to admit to something or do something to someone, that's not okay. Never been okay. And now you have it showing up full force in Pullman. Because you've got some scared kids, and that's what they are. They're young adults. They're basically still, they're kids. And if you want to, you know, and being a kid, this is something they, in their minds really, like, how can they understand something like this? They were taught as a kid, have your manners, you know, be nice to the kids on the playground, say thank you, say please, you know, wash your hands, all this stuff. And then you turn them loose in a university, in a college, and you tell them they can beat people up and call them names and force them to do things that they would never ever think about doing. And laugh at it and know that you're going to be better in the long run for it because you're going to get so many gifts and you're going to be put in places that you've never dreamed of because you did these things? Are you kidding me? That is disgusting. And it is sad. And it hurts my heart to think that. It hurts my heart to think that there's somebody out there feeling like this is what they have to do in order to be part of something. That's just gross. This is just like Lord of the Flies. This is like sick. This is sick. We've all seen the videos of them running through town, men and women, during this bidding, hazing, all this pledge week and all this stuff. I mean, there's guys with their hands taped in front of them. There's mud or poop or whatever smeared on their chests. They're in their underwear. They probably haven't eaten, probably highly intoxicated. And they're cheering them on. They're cheering them on. There's a crowd that's cheering the rest of the crowd on as they're having these people run through the streets in humiliation and bound so they can't even get away. They could fall, crack their head, get run over by one of the cars because everybody's drunk. And they're all having this wild time, like wild animals. And that's how you become a brother or a sister. That's gross. Enrollment on the Washington State University Pullman campus continues to drop. Additional enrollment figures released from WSU show that the Pullman student population is down about 500 this fall. Well, at least that's 500 right there that aren't going to be put in a situation like that. WSU Pullman enrollment is around 16,500, which is down 3.5% from last year. Pullman WSU campus enrollment has reached its lowest level since at least 1996. The local student population at WSU peaked in 2018 with just over 21,000. Since then, the WSU flagship campus has lost about 4,500 students, equaling an enrollment decline of roughly 22%. There's your numerology again, you guys. 22. Pullman relies on University of Idaho and vice versa. If one crumbles, so does the other. You guys better do something about it. Both of you schools. And the first thing you need to do is you need to become adults. And you need to take a firm hand and stop this abuse of other students. Stop this incredibly dangerous ritual that you think is so important. Take away their paddles, because they're still kids. Obviously, they need to be paddled themselves by this type of, this stuff that they're doing, these actions that they're doing. But you know what? You should be paddled too, because you continue to do it as well. Grow up. Grow up. And you guys better do it real quick, because look at the numbers here. Look at the numbers. You better start doing it real quick, better get a powwow going over there with the U of I right quick. Because when the walls start to crumble, it only takes that one piece to pull out somewhere in the mix of it, and it all comes down. Jericho, it all comes down. The walls come tumbling down. And picking those walls back up, oof, it's going to be much harder. Much, much harder. Costs so much more money. Just so much. Much, much harder than, you know what? Apologizing and doing the right thing. Yep. That's all you got to do. You got to be an adult. You have to take a firm hand at what is not humane. Take it off that campus. Punish when it's happened, because that's another thing. It's not being punished. Slap on the wrist. Go boy. Go girl. Get on with your day. Make your daddy and your mama proud. This is no proud. This is not proud. Oh, Lord. All right. Now I'm exhausted, and I still have police reports to do, but that's okay. I'm going to do it because it's important. I hope Kelly finds her way back out, because Kelly is now in the state penitentiary for women, allegedly. Now, I don't know. She could be being manipulated, used, or whatnot by the so-called, air quotes, adults from the University of Idaho and WSU, because I believe they're intertwined, these two schools. There's no way one doesn't know what the other one's doing. They have to know what the other one's doing, because they rely on each other. They do. They're shoulder to shoulder. They need each other. They have to have each other, because one is not going to exist without the other. That's just common sense right there. Common sense big time. Now, how about you people that run these places, you start using some common sense. That would be very refreshing. And it would be very adult of you. And I'm sending you a hug too, because this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to actually say, I'm sorry, and do what you should have done a long time ago. So I'm going to send you a hug to get your day started in a positive way. And know that just because you apologize doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you less of. In fact, quite the opposite in my eyes. It actually makes you stronger, more humane, and just believable, touchable. I'm not going to hug you every time. Okay. Hope you guys all have a really good day. Love you, and I'll be talking to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.